we're hanging out with Miss Inti Hyna here, and she just played a set at the Basement historic venue. And Inti, please tell us about yourself, where you're from, how you got to Nashville, what your story is.
Well, it's a long story, but I will make it short for you. I'm from Colombia. I came here to the States to do my master's degree in violin performance at Kent State University in Ohio. And one of my dreams was to do a master's degree in sound engineering because I've been producing electronic music like for 6 years. So I got accepted to MTSU, Middle Tennessee University, and I'm doing nowadays my master's degree in sound engineering, and I have been performing here around Nashville in very nice venues, connecting with wonderful people, including, of course, Sarah, who is a very close friend of mine. So yeah, that's basically it.
And what year, how long is the process for your master's? What does that look like to you?
It's 3 years. It's a longer master's degree because that one prepares you also for being a teacher, like a college teacher. Usually a master's is 2 years, but this one is 3 years. It's longer.
Yeah, and is that your dream too? After your master's degree, what is your ideal, like what would be your dream?
I think like any professional musician, it's like living of your music, like pay your bills with what you do, what you compose and what you perform. I would like to also produce for other musicians. That's something that I really like. But I really want to be focused in electronic music overall. Like if I can, like produce electronic music for video games, maybe for short films, things like that. I will also like to make my living with that kind of stuff. Like producing and like performing, that's the main thing that I want to do. I travel a lot because that's something that I really like to do.
That's awesome. And so what made you want to do music? Like what was your big aha moment that you wanted to be a musician?
Well, actually, I couldn't see my life without music because I started when I was very young. I started in music when I was 4 years old. So I was very little, all my world was around music. I started playing violin when I was 8. And basically my parents were like, you're going to study music. That was going to be like your path in life. So I couldn't like imagine myself doing anything else. My parents always pushed me to study music, perform music, have a degree in music. And that's what I did. And I'm surrounded by art. My dad is a visual artist. My mom is a jewelry designer. So my dad worked for a long time in theaters, like doing all the decoration, scenography. So my life was going to be art, no matter what. The coolest. So here we are.
That's awesome. And did you know you would end up in Nashville?
What do you mean with that?
Like, when you first started doing music, did you think you wanted to travel with your music? Did you think it would take you this far?
Actually not. I mean, I was talking the other day with a friend of mine that for me was surprising to come here to Nashville and see this huge scene because I didn't realize how big it was. I was accepted to 2 different universities for a master's degree in sound engineering. One was Miami, and the other one was Nashville, like MTSU. And my dream was Miami because I love the heat and the beach and the ocean, and that's what I love the most. But I was accepted here. The university was super good, very generous in a lot of different ways. And once I moved here, it was like, oh my God, what this is. I've never seen something like Broadway or so many musicians coming and performing in all the venues that Nashville has to offer. Like, it's just amazes me. Every single person that you meet in the streets, they are like, I'm a musician. Even if they are working in a bank or wherever. All these cities around music, and that's something that every day surprises me more and more.
And do you have music out?
I do. Actually, the next coming months, I'm going to release my full first EP. I've been lazy about it, but I have music composed and produced. I have one song out, and all the full album will be out in the next month. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And what do you want people to take from your music? What do you think is your goal with your music to impact people?
That's a very, very interesting question. Well, I'm in the electronic music field, And as many of you know, it's an environment full of substances, full of drugs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm a 100% sober person. So I really want to transmit people first my culture, because I produce Afro house and Latin house, and that's what I perform. But second, the idea that you really can enjoy music, you really can enjoy electronic music, have a wonderful parties without the need of using any kind of substances. That's something that I really want people to embrace, understand, and live through that, because I've seen so many sad things in this environment that I just want people be more aware of themselves and enjoy the music in other ways, not through the use of substances. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's really powerful. Wow. And so the Southern Glitter page that I have is about empowering musicians, so as musicians of Nashville, but specifically women in music. And so what would you say to a young artist that's just getting started in music is like the biggest advice you would give?
It's not easy. I mean, that's something that we have to embrace and be very aware of that. But it's also about being brave and don't give up. I mean, I know everybody says the same, but once you're in the path, you multiple times will tell yourself like, this doesn't worth it. I feel horrible performing. I'm not enough. The way is extremely hard, and it is. I'm not going to lie. All of us in this city and in the world, all musicians struggle if you don't have the resources, of course, or if you don't get the wonderful deal with a record label. But that doesn't mean that doesn't worth it. And at some point, you will find your people, you will find your tribe, and everything is about telling your truth. That's what music and art is. So I think that's the main thing.